During World Championship of the One Piece card game, we will learn about new bans. In the West, these changes will likely affect us as early as OP10. That's why now it's the perfect time to predict which cards will be banned and why. First, we need to acknowledge that Blue Doffy and Blackbeard are the strongest decks in OP10, so it's only logical that they will most likely get hit. Let's start with Blue Doffy. Instead of banning the leader, I believe it's better to target the key cards that make the deck oppressive. Fast, tempo-based decks are essential in One Piece card game, but Doffy takes it to an extreme. Some players have suggested banning the cards like Jinbe, Law or even Boa, but I don't think any of them deserve the ban hammer. To explain why, let me ask you a question. What is the win condition against Doffy for most decks? Pause the video and think about it. Time's up. My answer is most decks need to stabilize. Doffy's explosive early and mid game often end the matches before 10 on turn. However, if you can survive the early game, remove some of his threats while developing stronger characters, you have a really good chance of winning. So why is it so hard to survive the early game against Doffy? As always, it comes down to Dawn cheating and abusing value generators. But that's not all. When you add consistency to the mix, the deck becomes truly broken. One card enables all of these problems. Marshall the Teach. He abuses Dawn, as in practice you play with 2 extra Dawn every turn he's on the field. He generates infinite value, recycling cards like Weevil, Bouncer Low or Gecko Moria. He enhances consistency, ensuring you always play the strongest card from your deck. So what's the solution? You either ban the leader, all value generators or Teach. For me, the choice is easy. Teach enables all the broken combos, so he needs to go. I don't think any other cards need bans or restrictions. Yes, Bouncer Low is annoying, but since he's getting a reprint in PRB02, I don't think he will get banned. Now let's talk about Blackbeard. This deck that was underplayed in OP9 in the West will dominate in OP10. And all because of one card. 5-cost Kuzan. Let's break it down step by step. In OP9, Blackbeard is polarizing leader. He crushes the decks that rely on strong on-play effects like Gecko Moria, but struggles against fast, powerful decks like Blue Doffy or Purple Luffy. The biggest downside is that Blackbeard must use his leader's effect at the right time. Against decks like Doffy or Luffy, Blackbeard is forced to use his ability as soon as possible, which costs him a lot of cards. But OP10 Kuzan changes everything. This 5-cost 5000 power character is untouchable by removal effects. On top of that, his activate main ability lets you draw a card and swap Kuzan for any 5-cost or lower Blackbeard Pirates character from the trash. Do you see the pattern? Dawn abuse, value generation and consistency again. He abuses Dawn by giving you a 5000 power attacker for 5 Dawn that replaces itself next turn. He generates value through his draw effect. He boosts consistency by letting you afford to trash key pieces like Van Ogre for the leader's effect. Kuzan is basically 4 extra copies of any Blackbeard Pirates card in your deck. Honestly, this card should not have been printed. When I first saw Kuzan in OP10 reveals in Asia, I had the same reaction like with Gecko Moria back in the days. How did this card even get approved? But we can't allow a situation where they ban a card from Doffy but leave a Blackbeard untouched. That would be a disaster. Other than these 2 cards, I don't think anything else is overpowered. Especially with new expansions like EB02 or OP11 coming to Asia. OP11 in particular looks like a set that will shake up the meta, but it's a topic for another video. Now it's your turn. Let me know in the comments what do you think is the card that should be banned or limited. Thank you for watching, see you in the next video, Bye bye.